In mist and moor where thistles grow, where eagles carve the dawn below, there stands a realm of stone and flame, and Scotland whispers Merida's name. The wind itself was her first friend. Wild and fierce, it would not bend. Through tangled firs and roaring sky, her arrow's cry was her reply. Her mother, regal, bound in grace, sought to calm her daughter's pace. Princesses, she'd softly say, do not ride wild, they lead the way. But Merida's heart was like the sea. No wall could cage its melody. Her curls like fire, her eyes like storm. She fled the hall to seek her form. For every dawn she'd climb the crest, with bow in hand and heart unpressed, to loose her arrows toward the sun, and feel the world, her soul undone. Her father, Fergus, broad and grand, the bear king fierce, the axe in hand, laughed as thunder split the glen. Ye shoot like me, not courtly men. Yet deep below that mirthful flame, the shadow stirred, the beast with name, Mordu, cursed and lost to rage, the bear that fate had once uncaged. His roar had torn through years of peace, a legend carved in grief's release. One limb of Fergus, torn away, still marked the death of that dark day. But life moved on, as life must do, with clans that bickered, drank, and grew. Each noble house brought sons to fight, for Merida's hand, her mother's right. A grand alliance, peace to weave, yet Merida wished only leave. Why must my fate be sewn in thread? Why must I wed when dreams aren't dead? The banners waved, the bagpipes cried. 3 clans arrived in pomp and pride. Their sons were fools, or near enough, all brawn and bluster, thick and gruff. The contest set, the suitors drew, but fate had different plans to view. For Merida stood, her eyes aflame, and claimed the right to play her name. I'll shoot for my own hand, she swore, and silence fell upon the floor. Her arrows flew, swift, pure, divine, and split each shaft along the line. Gasps and fury filled the air. The clans enraged, her mother's glare. Daughter, this is not the way. Then let it break, young Merida'd say. She fled that night through fog and pine, her tears the rain, her will the sign. And there she found, by fate's decree, a trail of willow wisps set free. The blue lights danced, they whispered low, follow, child, where dreams may go. Through hollow trees and curling mist, she reached the hut the stones had kissed, an old which stirred her cauldron's gleam, and smiled as if she'd heard the dream. Change your fate, she laughed, then stirred, but all must pay for what's inferred. A cake she baked, of shadowed hue, give this to her who cages you. Merida took it, wild with hope, not seeing how the threads would rope. At supper's bell, her mother dined, and Merida, trembling, crossed the line. Try this, mother, softly pled, a wish wrapped up in fear and dread. Eleanor smiled, then took a bite, and darkness claimed the candle's light. Her hands grew coarse, her eyes turned wild, a monstrous form, yet still beguiled. A bear, her mother now became, the curse fulfilled, the spell aflame. Merida screamed, the table crashed, the tapestries of fate were slashed. Through panic storm she led her out, past guards who roared and clans who'd shout. Into the wood, the two did flee, a princess and her destiny. The dawn broke cold on moss and stone, a bear who could not speak, alone. Yet in her eyes, that human flame, her mother's soul still softly came. Together now, they sought the key, the witch's hut, the prophecy. But gone was she, save carved advice, mend the bond torn by pride's device. The riddle rang, what could it mean? A spell of cloth, a fate unseen. And in the wood, through trial and pain, they learned to trust, to love again. For Eleanor, bare though she might be, still taught her child humility, and Merida, fierce, began to know that strength is more than arrows throw. Yet danger stalked in twilight's gleam. Mordy returned from cursed dream, a monster vast, with eyes like coal. His growl could shake the forest soul. The battle broke upon the glade, as lightning cut the night like blade. Merida fell, her courage tried. Her mother's roar defied the tide. The two as one, they fought the shade, till fate itself the choice repaid. For as the dawn began to rise, Mordy was felled, his spirit dies. A ghostly prince in light appeared, his face of sorrow long revered. He bowed to them, his curse undone, and whispered, "See what pride begun." Then silence came, the wind stood still. The curse remained, the final chill. Merida wept, her tears unbound, and wrapped her mother in cloth around. The tapestry she'd torn in spite, now stitched with love by morning light. She whispered, "I'm sorry for what I've done." And through the mist, the curse was gone. The bear was mother once again. The sun broke gold across the glen. The clans rejoiced, the peace renewed, as laughter from the castle grew. And though no prince had won her hand, her courage crowned her in the land. Her bow was free, her path her own, a queen of spirit, not of throne. For brave was not her gift of might, nor how she'd loosed her arrows right, but how she'd learned, through pride and pain, that love mends hearts and breaks the chain. Now bards still sing in whispered halls, of flame-haired girl and crumbling walls, of curses turned to tender thread, of words unsaid, of tears once shed. And when the moors breathe mist anew, and stars drip gold on hills of blue, the wind still hums her melody, a song of will, of heart, of me. For freedom's not a sword to raise, but love remembered through the blaze. And fate, when met with heart unbowed, can turn the storm to sun and cloud. So lift your glass, ye wanderers bold, for tales like hers will ne'er grow old. Her arrows rest, her story stays, a spark eternal through the haze. For in the hills where echoes roam, a girl once found her truest home, not in crown, nor vow, nor thread, but in the words her spirit said. I am my own, the wild, the free, and none can change my destiny.